Certainly Apple has done that. They're doing it in different categories. So we have all these wonderful products. Disney totally changed their strategy. Disney used to be about long-term brands, like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. Now, every year, Disney launches at least one, if not two, hits. The Fiat 500. Oh, really, I could give you dozens of examples. Bacardi Breezer, another good example. So we did a new method of marketing and branding in order to cope with this new world that I'm describing. A world in which we need to think both long and short. And the most pressing need, because they already teach you how to think long, the most pressing need for marketers today is to learn how to develop and launch successfully one hit after another. And this is what Think Short is all about. Think Short is about making innovation that can fly, that can succeed time after time expertly. So it's an integrated method. It deals with new product development, with innovation. It deals with branding. It deals with marketing. I started working on this method in the mid-90s, so a lot of development years went into it. It's very up-to-date, and it's well-tested in practice. The main purpose is to arouse fast enthusiasm. So the main thing that the Think Short method knows how to do is arouse fast enthusiasm of consumers. Now, how do we do it? Let me introduce you to the main concept of the Think Short method, and the main concept is short-term brands. Now, I know that short-term brands sound to marketing people like a contradiction in terms, because everybody is used to long-term brands, and why invest in short-term brands? Well, there are two reasons why to invest in short-term brands. One of them is that the consumer is going to make most of your new brands short-term brands, either you like it or not. So you better create them as short-term brands. The second concern of marketers is, why should we invest so much? It is so difficult to create a brand. Why should we invest so much in something that is going to be short-lived? Well, but the good news is, because of the change that I mentioned and described in consumer behavior, it is no longer that difficult to create a new brand. It's much easier than it used to be in the past, because consumers take new brands very quickly. A short-term brand is not a failure to launch a long-term brand. A short-term brand is a planned, short-lived success. Now, of course, short is a relative term, because when we speak about movies, then short can be weeks, but when we speak about car models, it can be a few years. Anyway, it's shorter, much shorter than it used to be in the past. Because the fuel of long-term brands, as you well know, is trust. But the fuel of short-term brands is excitement. And you know, there's a paradox about loyalty. In the past, we used to think that in order to have loyalty, we should keep everything stable. Not anymore. Many marriage consultants will tell you that if you want to keep your spouse loyal, you have to revive the relationship all the time. Well, it's the same here. This is the financial logic of short-term brands. If this is the life cycle of a long-term brand, and let's say that this describes the sales volume. Okay, this is the typical development. Then short-term brands behave like this, and they have an average market share. So, while traditional marketing assumes that there is a stable market share and speaks in terms of market share that we conquer, that we reach, reality doesn't support that kind of talk anymore, because market share shifts from one company to another in perhaps not in all industries, but in some industries much more than it used to in the past. So the real way to look at market share is to look at the average market share. Now, if you manage short-term brands expertly, you can reach a higher average market share over time. This is the system. In order to have a successful innovation, you need to have the right kind of product, and I will explain what product can become a hit. You must have the right kind of timing, the right kind of brand, and the right kind of marketing. And it's only when you get all these four elements right that you can create successful innovations. So the method of Think Short is about all these four elements and how to create the right type in each one. This is something that might come as a surprise to people into innovation. Hits are made of 80% a formula that worked well in the past and 20% innovation. If you have too much innovation in a new product, it will take a long time till the market adopts it. Only limited innovation has the potential of becoming a hit. The right brand in Think Short is based on the 20% innovation, okay, not on the 80% proven formula. And it is built specifically to create enthusiasm. You know, when we think about long-term brands, we think about building a building, right? Floor after floor. When we think about short-term brands, we think in terms of starting a fire. That's it. Thank you.